everyone. We're back at last for a Saturday night podcast. Hope everyone's been well. We've got a lot to talk about tonight. Ange is gone. But first of all, we're going to say hello to Nige. Nige, how are you, mate?
Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good, thanks. How are you two?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Mark, how are you, mate?
Yeah, all's good, man. All's good. Hang on. The sun is sort of trying to come out, man. It's been absolutely throwing it down here.
Yeah.
Absolutely chucking it down, man.
It's been a bit mixed up here today, to be honest with you. Yeah. So, there you go. We've been away for a while. Mark, I'll let Mark come in on this. I know he wants to have a little chat.
Well, firstly, for all watching, we apologise we ain't done much content. But, obviously, I'm now working. I got a job. Right, and I do nights. And you've been rough, man, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've been in hospital, had your operation.
Yeah.
How are you now?
Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. I'm a bit sore, bit restricted, to be honest with you. I fell over on it on holiday on my shoulder.
Well, yeah, but would you like to explain the reason?
Well, the reason
why you fell over?
The reason being is because 27 of us went to Butlins. I think there was 12 grandchildren that were there. And it was like, get out the car, and the ball came out. So here we go, having a knockabout, with the kids, messing about, especially with the little ones. And I went to flick the ball up, step backwards, and there was a big hole there, about that deep. And I've stuck my foot in it and just gone down like a sack of shit. That was it, basically. So I was all right. I was just sore, really sore, because it's only been, 2 weeks since I've had me up.
The important question is, though, mate, have you still got it?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, undoubtedly. Come and sign me up.
Are you still Glenn Hoddle? This is what
I did a couple of backflips and a couple around the worlds, mate. That's all I can say. What more can I do?
This is what the audience need to know. Are you still Glenn Hoddle?
No. Unfortunately not.
No, I believe Glenn Hoddle was your position, sort of centre midfield.
Well, yeah. In the early days, mate. In the early days, but yeah, as I got older, I've retreated to centre half. You know what I mean?
Because when you messaged me and said that you'd fell over and hurt your shoulder,
I
was going to say, I did message you. Did you sive into one of the grandkids? Chop him in half.
I can't even blame one of the grandkids, mate. I should have thought
a knee-high tackle on one of the grandkids, Graham Roberts style.
I went down like a sack of shit, mate. Trust me, proper sack of shit. But there you go. I'm all right anyway. I'm fine. Just a bit sore.
That's all good. All good as long as you're good, man.
We'll get over it.
Go on, so again, apologies we haven't done nothing, but there are reasons behind it. We have these odd hiatuses, don't we?
Yeah, we've been doing the lifetimes, though, haven't we?
Well, it's not we've disappeared completely. We've been pre-recording a few of the lifetime shows that are being released every day, 5 p.m. UK time. How many 4's gone out so far, haven't they?
Yeah, 4's gone out. And then again, starting from Monday next week, every day, every weekday, 5 o'clock, there's a premiere out. There'll be a YouTuber or a Spurs commentator giving their team, and we'll try and carry on doing it for as long as possible. We're trying to get some more in, painstakingly trying to get some more in. We'll just keep going as long as we can. As long as there's a recording there, we'll keep putting it out. Excuse me, when we haven't got any more, that'll be it, and we'll try and sort out the big show at the end as we go. And that's it.
We're sort of working on that in the background, aren't we?
Yeah. We got. I don't know what we've got, about 3 weeks worth of recordings, haven't we? Something like that left to go out, and when we just keep recording, trying to keep topping it up. So,
There's been this week, next week, and I think the week after has already been released as premieres.
Yeah. There's about another 10, isn't there?
And then there's about another 10 or 12 or something after that.
Yeah. And then we'll
But
just
we
keep
are,
trying to top that up.
yeah, but we are still recording them.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. Should we have a look at the comments?
Yeah, have a look in the comments, mate. See who's here. Oh, that's Nige.
That is Nige. That's his other channel. I hope you sub with both your channels to us.
I have, mate. Yeah, I'm watching it from every channel.
Excellent work. The boss.
There you go. That was me. Yeah, I was just
Yeah, I
replying.
know. That's why I said the boss.
Yeah.
Oh, and that. Yeah.
And that. Yeah.
And that
And
one.
the next one. Yeah, that was me
And
too.
that. And that.
Yeah.
And then, how many bloody YouTube accounts have you got, for God's sakes?
2, 3.
I had enough trouble setting one up.
Oh dear.
Right, who else is here? Mark Taylor. Mark Army. Mark Army. Oh, I jumped the gun there. Jeff in the building.
Big up, Jeff.
Good evening. And here we go.
Mark Army. Happy days.
That's it for now. Now, there may have been stuff going on in the last couple of days.
I haven't heard anything, mate.
Has there been anything? Oh, hang on. One more. Lisa's just come in.
Hello, Lisa. Hope you're well.
Yeah. Is there mud in the pub later, Nigel?
There is.
Of course.
I know there is. I know there is. What? Me and you, Nigel, started already.
Probably done.
It's all right. I'm on the water. I'll keep it, civil.
Yeah. Right, now, I believe there's been stuff going on at Tottenham. The small little rumblings.
Is there?
Did something happen yesterday?
What about sort of 4:45 time?
Yeah, it was just as our bloody show was going to get premiered.
Yeah, well,
How inconsiderate.
We never knew. But
why didn't they leave it till bloody 6 o'clock? And then our show would have, that was Lubo as well.
Well,
in R5.
Lubo's premiere.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, R5, isn't it?
Not very thoughtful with the Tottenham Hotspur, was it?
No, it's not.
At all, did they?
I've already sent them an email.
I'm going to ask our guest to tell us what the news was anyway. Nige, did you hear anything yesterday?
Well, apparently, so I've heard, a certain Australian man had lost his job yesterday, which come as not a shock, but more of a relief. Postecoglou obviously being sacked. Don't know how you guys felt, but I was delighted when I heard the news. Listen, he's won us a cup, and I'll be forever thankful. But time to move on. Postecoglou's not the man, and let's see who we get next.
Right. Well, to be honest,
go on, mate.
I was just about to go to work, and it was in every WhatsApp group that I'm a member of. He's gone. And I was like, has he really? I didn't believe it. But then the first thing I did when I got in the van and started it up, Talk Sport, and it was all over there. They were talking about it for 5 hours.
Yeah.
It went on to like 10, 11 o'clock at night, just talking about Ange. And like, did he deserve? And obviously Talk Sport do a call-in thing. There was a lot of people on there. Thank God he's gone. Hallelujah. Then there was some, how can you sack a man that's just won a trophy?
Because he's football shit. That's why.
Well, yeah. Well, for me personally, I was delighted. Absolutely delighted. Because
for me, his football's rubbish, Mark. You know it. We've all watched it for 2 years. Do you know what I mean? Nothing's changed. And if you put in, again, I'm like, Nige, brilliant. I'm glad we've won something. You know what I mean? I'm a Tottenham fan at the end of the day, but we've all been watching the same stuff over and over again. Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, you've got to draw the line somewhere. We've got young players at the club now, a lot of young players, and they need coaching. It's as simple as that. And it seems to me it was pretty obvious that they weren't being coached.
Yeah.
That's my assumption of it from what I see. I don't know what you think, Mark.
just say good evening to Crooks.
Big up, Crooks.
1181. Big up. And Richest Man. Good evening, mate. And
Big up,
Crooks.
Richest Man.
Spot on. Shit football. Well, it was. Definitely,
Yeah.
right? Now,
Yeah.
I'm the same as, it's going to sound like an echo chamber. I'm the same as you, mate. And I'm the same as you, mate, Nige. Like, yes, we won a cup. Makes a bloody change. You know, first one in 17 years. But how can you legislate for finishing 17th in the league? I've never seen us finish that low apart from 77 when we got relegated, or 76, whenever it was.
Yeah.
You know, even when we was crap in the 90s, mid-90s, we still used to finish 10th, 9th, 12th, somewhere around there, mid-table-ish. You know what I mean? We've never been... Put it this way, if the 3 teams that got relegated weren't so crap, we'd have gone down. We would have done. We would have been relegated. Right? And you know, there's 3.1 million per place. From 5th to 17th, that's 12 places.
Yeah.
What's that? 30 odd million quid. You know, how can you... I mean, for a start, our glorious chairman's not going to be happy about that. You know, all right, you just throw in another bloody Beyonce concert or something and make that up. But you know what I mean? I mean, and plus the football was shit. Well, not really. Every week. Well, put it this way. At the end of it, now, I know plenty of people that's, well, I call them mates in inverted commas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Chelsea fans, Arsenal fans, they're not mates, they're associates. Please, I hope none of them's watching this. Well, they won't be. But like, nah, they are mates of mine. But like, even they stopped taking the piss out of me. A lot of them felt sorry for me. You know what I mean? Like, if Chelsea beat us or when Arsenal beat us, in the past, my phone would go mad, especially Facebook. You've been tagged in this, you've been tagged in that, you've been tagged here, there, and everywhere. This season, there was nothing because they just felt sorry for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The football's crap, man. Look, when we get the new manager in, whoever that is, do I expect to win something next year? No. But I want to see us progressing year on year. If we're going to keep this guy for the next, whoever it is, for a few years, just progress every year.
Yeah.
You know, I'd take something like 7th next year. Get a 7th. You know, European qualification again. You know, but we've progressed. You know, and I want to see a style of football as well. You know what I mean? None of this wide open, gung ho, 2 at the back nonsense. You know, because you can still be attacking and be defensive at the same time. You know, you look at Pochettino. He was solid at the back, and we played some great football. You know what I mean? There's no excuse to throw 10 people forward and have Romero and bloody Van de Ven on the halfway line as the only ones. You know, there's no need of it. There's no need whatsoever. I want to see us have a structure and have a system.
Yeah.
You know, and basically just improve players. Because who did Ange actually improve as a player?
No one really, did he?
But to be honest, you can argue Bergvall, right? But he's what, 20, if that?
18, 19.
He's going to get better naturally because he's getting older and he's maturing. You know,
But Mark, what I will say is I want to jump in. We'll come to Nige in a minute, but what I will say is players like Bergvall, if we get a coaching, people like Bergvall, Archie Gray, even Brennan Johnson to a degree, they're going to try and coach them to, like you say, to have a structure and a system. And that is most important at the moment for us, I think, on the field, because the last 2 years has just been chaotic. It's just chaotic. That's the only way I I can describe it. Nigel, what are your feelings on the subject, mate?
Yeah, like I said, when I heard the news, absolutely delighted. I haven't been enjoying Ange football for certainly all of last season. Take away the cup win because that was a moment. It wasn't the norm, was it? We were poor most of the season. And even in the final was a terrible final, but we won the game. You can't take away the cup win. We won the cup. It was an amazing evening. And for the week or so afterwards, brilliant. But as a manager and as a team, I haven't felt so disconnected for a long time. So for me, as it's been said already, thank you very much, Ange. You've won us a cup, but time to move on. And I'm actually now excited for the future. Whatever that may hold, I'm excited for whatever manager comes in. These players can only get better. A lot of the young players are going to improve, get proper coaching who knows how to coach a team. And I just want to fall in love with Tottenham again, which, take away the cup, which I didn't do for the last 2 years. So I'm excited now.
Yeah. I just want to say, big up Gary Paul Speed.
Big up, Gary.
Meeting Mark and the coaching horses. I'm not sure which Mark he means, though. That was obviously me, mate. It's obviously me because you weren't in there. Is that a pub that sells Amstel, by the way? I believe it is. I was in there a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... oh, yeah, we've got another couple of people in. Innocent Squirrels in. There we go.
Oh, hang on. No, yeah.
Big up, Mario.
Mario. Big up, mate.
Big up, mate.
Audio's in the building.
Big up, fella. The Squirrels in town.
Oh, here we go. Innocent Look, I never said I ate squirrels. I did not say that I ate a squirrel. I'm just saying someone I know did, or someone that lives near him. I don't know him, but someone that lives near me ate a squirrel. Apparently, it's quite nice. Yeah, I was going to say. I'll never forget that show where all these names started coming in.
That's brilliant. Brilliant. Right, so
yeah,
we know he's gone. There's a few names in the hat. Thomas Frank is the overwhelming favourite with the bookies at the moment, about 1-4 on, which is quite a strong favourite. You got Marco Silva at about 4-1, 9-2. And then I think Glasner's now third favourite at about 12-1, something like that. And Xavi's about 20-1, I believe, something like that as well.
He ain't coming.
Oh, I'd love Xavi, mate. Now,
well, won't we all? But he ain't coming, is he?
Just the first quick question: out of the managers, I don't know if any of you have seen any of the betting, but out of the managers, if you could have a choice of any of them, I would have Xavi, just because he worked on a shoestring budget at Barcelona. They couldn't have anyone in. I know he had quality players there, but he also brought a few youngsters through and given their head as well. What do you chaps think? Where are you with it?
Well, Nigel's got his favourite, ain't you, mate?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'd have Glasnow. I think out of those, he would be my choice. Obviously, I've been banging the Terzic drum, but he's not even in the betting, so that's not going to happen.
50-1, Nigel.
Oh, he is. He is in now.
50-1. Yeah.
50. Okay, yeah. I wouldn't put my money on. I think Glasnow would be the choice. He's managed in the Premier League. He's won trophies. I would say, I'd be happy with any of them. Maybe Marco Silva's the one I wouldn't be overly keen on. But I'm quite excited by Glasnow. I'm excited by Thomas Frank. I think he's a good coach.
Yeah.
Poch would be the dream, but not happening. Xavi, I'm not sure about, just simply because I think he plays a style of football that maybe Tottenham could only aspire to. You know what I mean? I think it's a big job to come into. I think playing the Barcelona way at Tottenham could be a difficult thing to do. But for me, Glasner and then Frank.
Mark, apart from Poch?
How do you know I like Poch? No. I'll be honest, after the nonsense we've had to put up with, I'll have you as manager, mate.
Oh, I'll do a better job, mate. Trust me.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I'll do a better job. I'd win us the UEFA. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. I don't mind any of them.
Don't take me seriously.
No. I'll be honest. I don't mind any of them. They've all got their pros and cons, aren't they? You know what I mean? Thomas Frank at Brentford. Like, he's worked on a shoestring.
Yeah.
So that suits Levy down to the ground. You know, 'cause he ain't getting no money out of him, is he? Well, he'd have more than he had at Brentford, wouldn't he? You know, and let's face it, Brentford are one of these teams. As soon as they get someone that's half sensible, they're gone, aren't they? Because they can't keep them. You know, at least, well, we used to be like that, but I'd like to think with the giant Levy dome that's been built, that we're not like that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, would he improve it? Well, he's certainly improved like players like Ollie Watkins and whoever else they've had there that they've flogged on. You know, so I wouldn't mind. Well, it's like I said, I wouldn't mind. Anybody would do me. I'd have Mr. Bloody Blobby in instead of Ange.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I've been Ange out for ages. 6 months after he was here, I said, get rid of him.
Yeah.
You know? Because after that 10 games, it all went Pete Tong, didn't it? All right, he won us a trophy, but 22 league defeats, that can't be overlooked. It can't be. Finishing 17th is disgraceful.
Yeah.
All right, we got a trophy and everyone loved it. I was steaming at the parade.
Yeah.
Absolutely steaming. Well, as you notice, as the day went on, my little short videos I did, they got sort of more random and random. I think the last one I didn't even put a title in it.
I think one thing you have to take into consideration is that with Thomas Frank, he's been manager of the Danish, I think it's under 16s, 17 and 19s. He was at Bromby for a little while before he went to Brentford. But what I will say is you have to try and imagine the budget that he works on there to the budget at Tottenham.
Exactly the same. No. It'd be different.
I think I see something a bit earlier on. Over his tenure, he spent something like 71 million quid in total, you know, with selling and buying over 5 years, something like that. And it's like when you work that out, and when you think about some of the players he's lost, like you said, Watkins, they got Ivan Toney from Peterborough for 5 million.
Yeah.
He was off. They made money there. There's lots of players, but also look at some of the players he really improved. Look at the left back they've got there before he got injured. I forget his name now. Rico someone?
Williams? No, that's Nico, isn't it?
Henry.
Rico
Henry.
Henry, yeah.
Yeah. He looks quality, mate, and he got injured, but they brought him in and they manage their scouting system, manages to find players that are not 40, 50, 60 million, and he gets them to come in and fit a system and fit his tactics at the end of the day. And he's, you know, you've also got to remember, I don't know, where did they finish? 10th, 11th, something like that, you know? And really, Brentford, when you think about it, come up 4 years ago. Yeah, come up through the playoffs. And I think he's done all right with them, you know. And there was a question on another channel earlier. Would you expect Brentford to win the League Cup? Would you expect them to win the FA Cup, the Europa? Do you expect them to win the league? You know? No, you don't. But I think he's done a superb job with them, a really superb job with them. Whether he can do that at Spurs or not is a different subject. But, you know, we have done it before. We bought Potts from Southampton.
Yeah.
You know, and look what he did. You know, there's nothing to say that Thomas Frank can't do it. But at the end of the day, you know, to a certain degree, we've just had a manager sacked that was backed with 400 million quid over the last 2 years, you know, and for me, if you're going to get him in, even though with his coaching and, you know, his coaching improving our players, we still need some activity in the transfer market because, again, we're 17th. We're not 10th going for 6th or 5th. To go from 17th to try and get a European place again is a tall order.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll see what happens.
But to be honest, mate, to sort of hit back on that a little bit,
yeah.
Do you think we have the 17th worst squad in the Premiership?
No, I don't.
Exactly, mate. So
no, I don't. So you know, under normal circumstances, whoever comes in, again, it's got to be a coach for me. Whoever it is, it's got to be a coach, and they've got to bring their backroom staff with them. None of this, oh, yeah, we'll take you as the manager, but I'll give you who I want to give you. You know what I mean? They've got to bring their coaching staff with them. They'll have a way that they want to play football. They'll have a way that they want to adapt and so on, and it will improve players. Undoubtedly, it will improve players. But at the same time, Mark, I still think we need... He's got to have some of his players come in who he wants.
Yeah.
Because I've got no doubt there'll be a few at ours that he don't want, that don't suit him. Nige, what are you thinking on that?
Yeah, no, I'm the same. Absolutely 100%. If Frank comes in, he 100% needs his own staff coming in with him. We can't be doing what we've been doing the last couple of managers, and either under Conte when Levy didn't let Conte bring the staff he wanted in, or under Postecoglou when he just didn't bring his own staff in for whatever reason. Yeah, he needs to. The thing is, Frank is not your fashionable manager, is he? I think that's why so many fans are turning their nose up against him, because, you know, he's not fashionable. He's a little old Brentford, you know, but I actually think he's a really good coach. And you got to remember where we are. We're 17th in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You know, we're not that top 5, top 6 side now. You know, we need to be realistic at where we are and the sort of manager we can get.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, you know, it's great winning a cup, but the barometer for a manager is league. For me, league form is so important because at the end of the day, when you're down the bottom of the league and you are going in, you know, you're getting knocked out of cup runs early, confidence is gonna fall away. Yeah, please subscribe to Nige at Pure Coys, please.
And us. We're 2 away from 400, mate.
There you go. 2 of you in the chat. There's 50 of you in here. I'm sure 2 of you can hit that subscribe button. Get us to 400, please, people. Thank you very much.
You get us to 400, I'll have another beer.
There you go. Mark will have another one. Happy days. Amstel's in. Yeah. I just feel like, you know, I don't want whoever it is to come in and we lose a couple of free games and we're back in the Nuno situation again.
Hey!
That I don't want.
We're there, buddy.
Yeah.
400. Thank you all.
Well done, people. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you. We desperately appreciate it.
Please, everyone, I will say, I'm going to say to you now, while you're all in here, 52 of you now in here, right? This lifetime thing that we're doing, please get over it. Your notification bell, only 4 have gone out at the moment. You can get back and re-watch them. They're only about half an hour, 40 minutes each. Lifetime teams from YouTubers. And it's going to be going on weekdays, you know, for the next few weeks at least. So hit your notification bell and get over there and watch them and sub to the channel. It'll really help us out. Thank you very much. Sorry to get that off your chest.
When I can get round to it, I am going to put them in a playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm just too lazy to do it, mate.
It's all right.
I know how to do it, but
it's okay.
I'm just too lazy to. I'll sort it out tomorrow, mate.
Yeah, brilliant. That's great.
They will be in a playlist.
Yeah, that's okay. They'll be sorted, Mark. So anyway, going back. What was I talking about? I've gone right off track now because I've said that.
You're getting excited, mate. We got 400 subs.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it will be confidence. I don't want the next manager to come in. We lose 2 or 3 games and we're back in a Nuno situation again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We've give whoever comes in, give them a little bit of time, let them get their philosophy in, and let's just hopefully start to see some nice football on the pitch again. People pay a lot of money to go to Spurs every week, and again, we've won a cup, and it's brilliant. We've won the Europa League, but for them people that are going week in, week out, paying 12, 14, 16, $2,000 and more for a season ticket to watch that. We know how many people have been frustrated because it's not just in our channel. We watch lots of different channels, and we can see that people have been frustrated with it. But now what I'm seeing is, now he's been sacked, I'm seeing a lot of, or relieved of his duties, however you want to put it. I'm seeing a lot of now. How can you let a manager go that's won a European Cup? What a massive mistake. And so on and so on. What are your thoughts on that, chaps? I've just got to go and fill my water glass up. And
I just got to say quickly, what we got to remember is whatever manager comes in is not gonna. It's not a magic wand. It's not going to happen overnight. Postecoglou come in, he started up there, didn't he? And he went down and down and down. I'm quite happy if whoever comes in, whether that's Frank, if we start slow and then slowly get that trajectory up, I'm more than happy. What we've not got to do as a fan base, and I've noticed a lot on YouTube already, a lot of these, I'm not going to, Ange sexuals, who were just like banging the Ange drum, they're already turned on the manager and they don't even know who it is. They're like, if he doesn't win first 2 or 3 games, we want him out. And you
can't do that.
It's a fan base now. We have to unite and get behind whoever is in charge.
I agree.
If we like him or not.
To be honest with you, right, instead of doing what Ange done, and start with us top of the league after 10 games, and then it went, like that, I want us to start here and go like that. You know what I mean? I want to see, after the first 10 games, if we've won 3, drawn 3, well, say 9 games, won 3, drawn 3, lost 3.
Yeah.
That's good. You know what I mean? That's acceptable. You know what I mean? But I want to see, by the end of the season, I want to see us 6th, 7th. I'll take that, as long as we get European qualification.
Yeah, and what if we don't, Mark? What if we finish 10th or 11th? How are you going to feel then? Just putting it out there, devil's advocate and all that.
It depends on the style. If you can see that there's a style of football and we're building something, then I'm willing to accept that. But if it's the chaos that happened under Ange, with 2 at the back, holes all over the place, cut the ribbons easily every game, because we were sliced to pieces. One ball over the top, one ball down the side, and the other team was in. It was sickening to watch. In the end, I used to think, do I want to watch Tottenham? That's the first time I've ever thought that. Especially when Poch was here, I used to cancel stuff to watch Tottenham play. Cancel it. Yeah. I'd have to see, if I had to see, my daughter or something, I'd be like, I got to drop you off by, 7:30. She used to say, why? Oh, busy. Tottenham were on. I know I'm ashamed to say it, but I did. Because I could not miss a game that Tottenham were playing.
Yeah.
That's what it was, because the football was brilliant. But with Ange, there were some games that weren't on Sky or any of the other platforms. All right, and you can find other ways to watch them. But I just couldn't be bothered. I thought, what's the point? We're going to lose anyway. What is the point of watching? Just to get mad for 2 hours. Because back then, now you know this, mate, we used to say, right, we ought to do a show. And you used to say, I really can't be bothered.
Yeah, because it's the same thing over and over again.
Look, I said last season, you just will take one of our shows where the show started with us moaning and groaning about Ange and losing, and you could have just copied that and pasted it for the rest of the season. I'd have just changed the title. The 2 marks versus whoever we were playing.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Just copy one of them and paste it for the rest. You know, it was exactly the same the whole year. It was terrible. Yes, he won us a trophy. Am I going to be forever grateful? Yes. But I cannot forgive finishing 17th in the league. I cannot. I've never seen us be that low. Well, once when I was about 7, 6. We got
It depends how
relegated.
the new manager starts, doesn't it? You know,
Yeah.
would we take 10th or 11th? If we start off winning 10 of our first 15 and then lose like 15 of our last 18 or whatever, then
Yeah.
obviously we're not going to be happy. But
Yeah.
I think what we want to see is progression, isn't it? More than
Yeah.
anything. If we start
Yeah.
slow, end the season well, I think I'd take listen, all I want to see is a side that looks coached, players that look like they want to play. I want to see Madison given a bit of a free role to do what he can do. I'm just looking forward to seeing these players in it under a different manager because I think we're going to get so much more out of them. I think we're all going to be surprised how much better these players look under a new manager. I
We
can't wait to
mentioned
see
this before. Like we finished 17th last year. Have we got the 17th worst squad in the Premier League? No.
that.
No, we haven't.
Well, we did this the first show we ever did. The first
Yeah,
show we ever did on this channel, mate. We compared us to the rest of the league.
Yeah, and we all said, well, we both said 6th or 7th.
Yeah, 5th, 6th, 7th. It was in that area. You know,
Yeah.
have we got a better squad than, say, Liverpool? No. Arsenal? No. Chelsea? No. Man City? No. You know? And
Yeah.
after that, it was a toss-up between us, Villa, Newcastle, teams like that. We're all in that sort of mix, aren't we?
Yeah.
General area.
Yeah, yeah.
That's where we put us.
Yeah.
We're certainly not. Well, put it this way: have Fulham got a better squad than us? No.
No,
Have
they
Palace
haven't,
got a better squad than
No.
us?
No.
You know what I mean?
But
Teams
their-
like that, you know,
Their
Bournemouth.
managers are getting more out of them, Mark.
Yeah.
At the end of
Have
the
Bournemouth got a better squad than us?
No.
Yeah, well, I say exactly, man. Exactly.
And hopefully,
You know, so
whoever comes in, like Nige said, they're a coach and they're going to get more out of them. You can see that there's more to give because it was so chaotic. Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine having a back three or a back four that's dropped off 10 yards? Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? You're not going to see none of this silly stuff going over the top, wingers flying down into open space, hopefully. You know, it killed us. We're not going to see, hopefully, sitting here like we do most weeks going, how many shots on target today for the other team? 20, 22, 25, 30. You know, that sort of stuff's got to stop as far as I'm concerned. And I, you know, it might have to be a bit more, if you want to use this pragmatic word, you know, but at the end of the day, we've got to play football. You know, we've got to play football. They're not stupid. They're grown men. And I'm sure that if a coach sets out tactics, triangles, whatever you want to do it, you know, whatever he says, they will adapt to it. And he will find out who can't adapt to him very early on.
But Mark, you've got to realise as well, Thomas Frank, if Thomas Frank is the man, Brentford were the 5th highest goal scorers last year in the Premier League. You know, they weren't boring to watch by any means. So anyone who thinks that Thomas Frank is a sideward step or a downgrade, I think they are crazy. Because I think he's a really good manager.
Yeah, you've got to, you know, people come up from somewhere. People start somewhere at the end of the day, Nige, don't they? Not everyone is born to be, you know, the top man. You know, people work for it. And if he comes in, this could be his chance. He might think now to himself, I've been at Brentford for 4 years. I've done Bromby. I've done coaching the youngsters. Now is my time. I'm being offered it, and I'm going to show what I can do now. And that's what we need, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what we need.
definitely. And to be honest with you, as well, I want to feel connected with the club again.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
last few years, I've never. When we all went to the protest, I know you weren't very well, mate, but like we were all at the protest. It was the first time. I know you used to live up there, so it's different for you. But it's the first time I've been to N17, and I wasn't gutted that I never had a ticket for the game. It was the first time I've been there without going in the ground. You know, the old White Hart Lane or the new ground. But to be honest, when we was at the protest, we were playing Southampton. It really didn't matter that I wasn't going in the game. Well, in fact, if someone had come up to me and said, "Yeah, mate, I got a ticket for you if you want it," I'd have said, "No, mate, I'm going in the coach and horses." You know, I really wasn't that bothered. Honestly, I didn't give a monkeys that I never had a ticket for the game. Well, in fact, me and Nige got we had a few beers in the pub, didn't we?
Yeah, it was good. And when was that Southampton game? That was was it March? Was it March or April?
Something like that, wasn't it?
March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, but that was our last Premier League victory, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, well, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won that game.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. There was one here. I just wanted to. I'm going to click on it, Mark, when I find it.
No. You crack on, mate.
Here we go, Gary.
You've got just as much control as me.
What do people think about this? Do you think the youth players, Donnelly, Dorrington, Lancashire, Moore, Abbott, Hall, will now be given the chance to flourish and grow into the first team squad? Chaps.
I'd like... See, none of us really know, because I'm not sure about you two, but I certainly don't watch any of the youth football. I know Donnelly's been on loan, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's at Orient.
Yeah, he's at Leyton Orient.
Yeah.
And I know a few, like Lubo, Sean Slater, and all them. They got to watch Orient regularly, don't they?
Yeah, you got Keeley and Donnelly there at Orient. Dorrington's at Aberdeen, I think. Lancashire's at West Brom. Not sure about Abbott and Hull.
No. I mean, to be honest, it's entirely up to the new manager. I'd like to see him incorporate some of the youth. I mean, look at Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore come on and he had... Was it the Cup game where it was either the Europa League...
Elfsborg, wasn't it?
Yeah, when he come on and run the show, Madison said in his interview afterwards, we just kept passing the ball to Mikey.
Yeah.
And let him crack on.
Yeah.
You know, but after that, he never got another game, did he? Maybe 5 minutes here and there.
Yeah, just sub appearances, I think.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's difficult now, isn't it?
It's up to the new manager to determine whether these youngsters are ready. You know what I mean? But then again, I don't want to see it. Well, put it this way, the transfer window now, or when it officially opens, I don't want to see us buying loads of kids again, like we did last summer.
No, I don't think we can't do that now,
No,
Mark, can we? We've got them.
Yeah, but I want to see some experienced heads come in, that the likes of your Archie Gray, your Bergvalls, your Mikey Moores, whoever else is going to hang about from the youngsters can look up to and learn from. You know, and then any one of these, or Mikey Moore, or any of the other good youngsters we got, introduce them one at a time. You know, if the new manager thinks they're ready, give them 10 minutes at the end of the game. Give them half an hour at the end of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Here's another one as well.
No, you carry on. No,
up here. Ajay come on in the Elfsborg game, didn't he, as well?
Oh, he scored, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He scored.
I feel slightly different.
I
feel slightly different about the youngsters. As much as it'd be great to give them game time, he's going to be whoever comes in is going to be under so much pressure to get it right.
Yeah.
and I don't think he can afford to blood them. I think if we put them out in the League Cup and go out, the fans will moan that we put out a scratch team and there's a chance of a trophy. I think what we need to do is put a lot of these youngsters, give them another year's loan, see how they do. Maybe keep Mikey Moore. Maybe give him a loan until Christmas. See what he's like when he comes back. I just think the new manager is going to be under so much pressure that he might not be able to bleed too many youngsters. It'd be nice to see maybe one or two get the odd appearance. But I think we need now, like I said, we've already got so many youngsters in the squad already. We need to buy some experience, and I just don't see the youngsters getting much of a chance, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so in that respect, Nige, do you expect to see a few of the senior players leave? Or not necessarily, maybe Romero, he's going to leave anyway. But, you know, a few of the more, a Basuma, a Bentancur, them type of players that are a bit more senior. Do you see any of them leaving, Nige and Mark, and anyone coming in to replace them, Richarlison's, that type of player?
We see 2 or 3 leaving, whether that's Basuma or Bentancur, one of the two. I think there's a good chance Richarlison will go. Other than that, I'm not sure. Ben Davis, maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's probably going to be a bit about it. I've been hearing like Dragusin might be part of a swap deal with an Inter Milan defender. Can't remember his name now. But yeah, I don't think too many will go. I think we'll maybe sell 2 or 3. Maybe Romero's a big one, isn't it? He may go. A lot of people talking about Porro. I can't see Porro leaving. But Romero maybe.
Do you think Romero may stay now, though, since he's won something with us?
I think it depends who the manager is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And depending who come in for him as well.
Yeah.
You know, Atletico are, keen on him, but, if you're getting other big teams coming in for him, and I think that the money's right. I think he cost about 42 million, didn't he? Something like that.
Yeah.
So Levy, if he's going to sell him, will be looking to get more than that for him.
Oh, he'll want double it. We'll want 70, 80. Well, we'll want at least 60, won't we?
Yeah, I was going to say 60
Yeah.
mil. I would imagine he'll be looking for something like that,
I think Gary Paul Speed has got a good point now, saying
Hang on,
thinks
where are we?
you kids will be added into the first team, due to the homegrown. Maybe, that's a good point. Didn't think of that.
Yeah, because we never had enough, did we, for the Europa? Didn't we fall down on one of the criteria or something? And we could only have... Was it we could only have 23 instead of a 25 or 21 instead of 23? We were 2 missing, weren't we?
Picked 4 keepers in the end, didn't we?
That's right, just to fill it up.
This is why, I think we may sign Kyle Walker-Peters, maybe one of our first signings. Just for that homegrown.
Yeah, for the homegrown stuff.
What do you think about re-signing Kyle Walker-Peters? Now, take away the homegrown. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, is he the level of signing that you would be happy with? Kyle Walker-Peters.
He's not a needle mover, is he, at all? But
no.
It's literally someone to fill the squad. That's homegrown. That's the only
we have a guest.
Wouldn't excite me at all.
Bring him in. Oh,
go on, Mark. You do it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I brought him in and you removed him.
Yeah, there he is.
There we go. Big up, Alex.
There he is.
Mr. Box Office is in town. Happy days. How are you, Alex?
Listen, I'm pretty well relaxed. The weather's crap, so that's the only thing that's getting me down. If you're talking about what happened yesterday, got over it. To be honest with you, I wasn't even into it anyway in the first place. So to be honest with you, it's not really a big deal. I'm kind of drained from it now. To be honest with you, I'm drained from it. I'm drained talking about it. We spoke about it for so long now that I'm kind of done with it now. To be honest with you, so me being done with it was me doing the video on my channel. So, may it continue with that, being consistent with that at the end of the day. But other than that, just not interested. I'm done with it, to be honest with you. I don't know what everybody else feels, to be honest with you.
I'm not done with. I'm done with it in the fact that he's gone.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we have to move on with it now. Talk about who might be coming in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, what's to look forward to for Tottenham Hotspur next season? Is anything going to change upstairs as far as getting some experienced players in? Maybe 2 or 3 leaving, so on, so forth. Alex, I'll ask you the same as what I just asked Nige. Do you see? I know we don't know who the manager is yet, but do you see, apart from the rumours about Romero, certain players may leave, a couple of experienced players like a Basuma, a Bentancur, like Nigel said, a Ben Davis? Can you see anyone else leaving, Nigel, apart from maybe those names? Box office. Apart from those names that have been mentioned.
Probably Richarlison will be going, but he was always leaving in my eyes. But yeah, Romero, I think, was always leaving, even if Ange was staying anyway. I don't know who will leave. It depends on, because we've got a problem with how many people overseas players we've got in the squad for the Champions League. So they're going to have to sort it out anyway. I think that's why what they mean by 1 in, 1 out. So I think there will be some departures, definitely, especially who are overseas players that are not in part of the English quota. I think that will definitely happen. It's just dependent on what the boss wants, the next boss wants, really, to be honest with you. So I don't think we have to start all over again, like some people say anyway. So I do think there will be departures, yes, because of the fact that we're in the Champions League. We've got to comply with the squad, what we need and stuff in terms of who can, numbers of how many overseas players and homegrown players you have to have in the squad, and academy trained and all that malarkey. So yeah, so I think there will be departures. Romero, I think, will definitely go. My answer, and I'm not too sure who will go, but I think I do think that there's a huge possibility that Basuma might go.
Okay.
I think it's either one of the two going anyway. It's either Bentancur or Basuma going anyway, because they need to fill space, don't they?
Yeah, I'll be honest. It all depends on the next manager, that whether he likes him or not. I mean, who knows? He might not like half a team. And say, I don't want him, don't want him, don't want him. But he might come in and say, oh well, yeah, you know what I mean? Nobody knows until the new manager turns up.
And this is what I was saying about the youngsters as well, Mark, because now the end of season's here, new manager coming in. There's lots of players out on loan that are going to be coming back to the squad. So if they can get a manager in soon, he will be able to oversee even those players that are coming back. And there might be 1 or 2 that he thinks, oh yeah.
Yeah, I like looking at him.
Whereas Ange didn't fancy him. Do you know what I mean? Or for whatever reason didn't play him. Right,
I've left this here because there's a question coming from Razzle Dazzle.
We'll let the guests answer that one.
Yeah, who would you say is our starting wingers right now?
We are blessed with so many great wingers. So difficult to choose because they're all so good. I would say probably Johnson, I guess. And I was waiting for you to sing then, Sheriff. But Johnson.
Again, ole. Again, ole.
I don't know on the left. I suppose if Sonny's still there, it would be Son. But none of them excite me.
No, they're certainly not. Well, we're not giving away too much of the all-time 11s, but there's certainly some slightly better wingers than we've got now in some of them teams.
Oh, yes.
Well, I'd say in all the teams. Everyone's team so far, there's been better wingers than we got now.
This is what I mean. When you see with Son, it's not a definite he's staying, is it?
I wouldn't care if he does, to be honest with you.
So this is what I'm saying. Things like, for argument's sake, let's say, even if Son does say, let's say, right, pre-season comes back, they come back under a new manager, Mikey Moore's fit and he's flying. Let's just, as an example, I'm not saying let's do this, but as an example, so that he's coming, Mikey Moore's flying in pre-season, he's doing everything right in training. As a new manager, and you're liking what you're seeing, do you think I've got to squeeze him in somewhere? For argument's sake, I'm just saying, I'm playing, we don't know what's going to happen. I'm just trying to play a bit of devil's advocate on it. If he sees a youngster in pre-season, does he think, yeah, bang, I'm going to give him a chance?
You don't know, do you? You honestly don't know.
I think I've said this before, and I'm going to keep on saying it again. If you're going to be a backup, I'm not interested in you.
Yeah,
I don't do backups, and this is the problem. We had backups this season, and look what happened. The backups became the first team. Look what happened.
yeah.
So I don't do backups. I don't see the point. And if you're a youngster that want to play in the team, you've got to get better. This hopefully, like I said, we're going to have a coach, and they're going to be able to make them, work with them. And I'm not going to say they're going to be lightning shooting up to the stars, no. But at least we might see some progress with some people individually.
You do need a squad, though, Alex, don't you?
Well, that's why I say I don't do backups.
Well, yeah, but someone's got to be. You know what I mean? You're always going to have your. As long as there's not a massive drop.
The way I look at it is, if you're not competing, don't bother coming in the squad.
Yeah, exactly. Now I do agree with you.
This is what I'm saying. I don't do backups because if you don't want to compete, what are you doing there?
Yeah.
Because like I said, what happens when the backup becomes the first team? You see what happened with 17th with 38 points, nearly worst points of so long. You know what I mean? Yeah. One of the worst seasons I've seen in a lifetime, even though we won the Europa League.
In answer to your question, Mark, about Mikey Moore, as I said earlier, I just think whoever comes in is going to be under so much pressure. I don't think they can afford to play the kids. Not straight away anyway. I think he has to go with whatever. I mean, who knows? We might sign an amazing left winger, but I don't know. It's hard to say at the moment, but I just think whoever comes in is under a lot of pressure straight away.
Yeah, I think for me, I think people's expectations have gone way too sky high after that Europa League. I've got to be honest, and this is why we're saying what we're saying at the moment, which is absolutely ridiculous. Because again, we didn't play anybody in that Europa League. It was a great achievement. I'm not going to dismiss it. Definitely not. European trophy, you can't sniff at that. Second best European trophy in Europe. No way. I'm going to dismiss that. But I think people's expectations have gone way sky high after that, and I don't think they realise just because you won that trophy, you still were 17th.
Yeah.
So your mentality hasn't changed just because you won the cup. That you completely dismissed that league and let that league form go straight down the toilet. So, I like I say, what are people's? I think, like I say, these people's expectations now saying, "Oh, we don't want Frank." And I'm not saying that Frank is the best coach that we can get. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying at the moment, he could do a hell of a lot better than we did last season, getting better than 17th.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Can I'll just jump in quickly. While there's 60 of you in here as well, keep smashing the like and subscribe to Box Office, to Nige, and to us as well. And just to say, Nige has got a show at 9:15 on Pure Coys. No mud in the pub. 9:15. Talk a little bit of football, but generally, pint in your hand, we have a bit of a giggle. So please get over there, 9:15 to No Mud in the Pub. It's pretty good. We'll just have more of a laid back chat for a couple of hours. Yeah, there you go. So I just wanted to get that in there.
Nice one, mate. Tonight, I just got to say quickly, tonight we are doing something slightly different. We have got,
are we?
Because it's been inspired by your favourite Tottenham 11 of all time. So I thought we might do, as a bit of a laugh, the worst Tottenham 11 of all time. So
that'd be interesting. All the chat can get involved, whoever's in. can't we?
Yeah.
So yeah, that will be interesting. I want to change tack a little bit. Still, obviously about Spurs. What do you all make about the clear out at the top? Is this a mask? Is it a Levy mask again, or is it like they're being serious this time? Joe Lewis's daughter, she's got whoever is it Caldecott his name is, or someone in. Everyone's gone except Lang, I believe. Munn's gone, Ange's gone. Donna Cullen's gone. I heard or read something that maybe Lang was getting demoted a little bit from his position. Paratici coming in, so on, so forth. What? That's it. Charrington. Sorry about that. Charrington. Yeah, that was his name. What are your thoughts on that? Does it feel like that there could be a clear out at the top? Are we hoping that sort of in some way, shape, or form, even if Levy if we can't get Levy out, or they can't get Levy out, he gets pushed out of the football side, maybe? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, chaps?
I've got not really much to say on that because I don't really have much information on it. But I've just heard a lot of rumblings that Levy's position is under threat.
Yeah.
The things that I will say about the hierarchy at the moment, I think we were kind of making these theories up during the season that you could see that there was going to be maybe a clear out for the and Ange would be the first one. Well, Ange would be one of them. Scott Munn would be another one.
Yeah.
I'm just surprised right now that Johan Lang is there, and obviously Donald Cullen's gone as well early in the week. So, it's one of those things what I think was always on the cards because it hasn't really worked. And also you've also got Vinay as well. I don't see Lang staying any longer if Paratici's there. I just don't see the point. I really don't see the point. And I always think that Paratici will want his own person with him anyway. So I just don't know. Yeah, I mean, on the Daniel Levy situation, the whole Charrington thing. I mean, at the end of the day, he's doing what a chairman's doing at the moment. He's used his head and he's and they've had a clear out, and that's it really. They're trying to change the structure, go back to what is more comfortable, and and with the chairman's position, I've got no idea what is happening with that, to be honest with you. But yeah, it just looks like to me that they're making a huge clear out. The only one that I'm really surprised about is like Johan Lang. Like I said, I don't see that being a permanent thing for me, because I do think that if you're going to have Paratici over you and you don't really get on with each other, I don't see that working for me.
Nige, thoughts?
It feels like something's happening like quite big to me. We've heard like rumours before over the years and nothing's really seemed to happen. I definitely think that certainly over the last year or two that we've had far too many cooks in now, too many people making decisions. How can you expect Tottenham to ever get things right when you got like 10, 12 voices all the time? So for me, it is always better if we just had one or two making the decisions and going from there. But it definitely feels like something's happening, and this Levy thing will not go away, will it? Lee McQueen's come out and said, and I'm not saying Lee McQueen's the oracle of football, but he's come out on a show and said that he thinks Levy's going to be forced to step down. So it's going to be a really interesting couple of weeks. But what I don't want it to be is another excuse for Tottenham not to make signings.
Yeah,
which I feel like it's going to be. I feel like we get to the end of the window and we've had so much upheaval in the boardroom that Tottenham have done nothing in the transfer window, and that just
And
That's
and
the
I'm
usual
like,
nonsense, isn't it? I mean, normally generated by Daniel himself just to save him sticking his hand in his pocket. You know what I mean?
it's not so
Eventually,
much sticking his hand in his pocket, Mark. It's getting the right scouts to
yeah,
find the right
yeah,
players to spend the money properly,
yes,
rather than getting one decent one and two or three, that are not so good, and then one decent one and two that's no good. We need to, we've got to set our standards a little bit higher. And before
to
we
be
carry
honest,
on, this answers it for me. That answers it for me straight away, Scott. Cracking comment. That says everything for me.
yeah,
And it has to change at the end of the day. It has to change. No one can argue that Levy doesn't spend money. We're the third highest spenders, right, in the Premier League, and we're finishing 17th. Now, we can go back to wages. Yeah, he's cutting the wage bill. Yeah, so on, so forth, so forth. But if you're spending the sort of money that Tottenham are spending and you're not getting the right players in, it leads to what you saw this year.
yeah.
We did. I'm talking about league performance, not winning the cup. And I think it's so important, and that it always has been for me. The barometer of a manager has been league form because it's sustained over 38 games. That is really important because managers can go and win a cup. You can get a lucky run. You can get just lucky.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But league does it all for me. I don't know what you think, chaps.
Well, we have a comment come in first. There is a comment. I'm not sure. We got to play national anthem, stand up, salute. I'm not sure. The Queen is in the building. Queen Ellie. I'm not sure what we got to do because, like, when my gran was alive, at the end, remember when BBC used to finish at the end? They always played national anthem.
Yeah.
My gran used to insist that we all stood up.
Are you calling Ellie a gran?
No. Oh, hang on.
Show
It's
her.
a bit early for this, isn't it? You got to remember, Nige. You must remember. It's all up here, mate.
Oh dear, what's it?
It started already, and it's not even mud in the pub time.
No, it's mad. It's mad. So, you've got Vinay coming. Is there any news that on Paratici? Is he coming? Is he definitely in the building yet? Has anything
He's
been announced?
spotted, hasn't he? He was spotted at loads of games towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
I think he's coming in beginning of July. That's when his ban ends. That's what I think.
Okay.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's why they're keeping in Johan Lang, because I think they're still allegedly he's still got some things that he has to he's still involved in terms of I can't really say, but there's still some things that he has to deal with still. So I mean, like I say, they need to get this sorted, this manager thing, and then move on really for and just get on with it really. It will be maybe a difficult season this season and next season. And this is where I get a bit annoyed with some Tottenham fans, because I was on the show yesterday, and someone mentioned that we all need to be nice to each other, and I sit there and say, if you think that Tottenham fans on social media are going to be nice to each other after this, you're deluded. You know what I mean? What I mean? I just think you just got to ride with the punches, or ride with the wave. And if you don't want it, if you don't like it, sorry, this ain't for you. You know what I mean? So it's just like I said, I've just got to be honest. It's like, I don't know what people want. You know what I mean? People are going to be passionate about what they believe in. Yeah. It is what it is. I don't mind it. You just turn up, say your point, but you're only going to get bantered by the main event anyway. So don't make a blind bit of difference in my eyes anyway. You know what I mean? So it's just like I don't know what the big deal is. I really don't know what the big deal is. It's either they need to take themselves away from it a little bit and go back into the real world, which is hard, by the way, rather than doing this. You know what I mean? This is kind of a little doddle, really, for me. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think, like I said, it's a bit sad, the whole thing with the Ange thing, really, because you can see a lot of people are. I mean, some of the arguments have been pathetic for me. Especially with the fact that they're saying that now, what is this manager going to do better than Ange? Or at least he will do a better, get us into a better position than 17th, 38 points.
You should have heard it on. No, I was at work last night, and the news broke about Ange with it probably half an hour before I left. So immediately fired the van up, Talk Sport straight on. They were talking about it for 5 hours. And obviously they get people, the various presenters on there. They have like people calling in. Some people, I'm glad he's gone. Worst manager I've ever seen. Blah, 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 blah. But some were like, how can you sack him after he's won a European trophy? And like some of the things that they were saying, I was sat in my van just like shaking my head. I was like, do you not realise we finished 17th?
It's the injuries. It's the injuries part, isn't it?
The injuries excuse was coming out. Oh, we had all the players injured. But what about when Ange rushed Romero and Van der Ven back for the Chelsea game that we lost anyway, and they both got injured within half an hour of coming on because he rushed them back because he knew his job was at stake. What about that? What about not rotating the squad and causing all these bloody injuries to start with? You know what I'm saying? Honestly, I get both sides of it. Personally, I wanted him gone last season. Towards the end of last season, I wanted him gone. But I get both sides of it. I can see why a lot of people would want him to stay. Yes, we won a trophy. We got the monkey off our back, about not winning anything. But I also get the bit, this is the bit I'm on. We finished bloody 17th, for God's sakes. It's like I said, the only time I've seen us finish lower than that, excuse me, we were bloody relegated in 17, whatever it was, 6 or 7. We were relegated. That's the only time I've seen us finish lower than 17th.
Yeah. That's why, though, Mark, whoever comes in is onto a hiding onto nothing, because if he doesn't win a trophy, even if he comes 5th, there's going to be fans out there saying, well, he didn't win a trophy.
Yeah, get him out.
Well, I feel sorry for the next manager. I really do.
I don't feel sorry for him, though. I don't feel sorry for him because I just feel that's just going to be how the cookie crumbles at the moment with this club. It's going to be that issue because, like I said, there's a lot of people that are absolutely in love with Ange. You know what I mean? That cup win turned a lot of people. So, like I said, I know what I'm doing during the season anyway. So I'm not, I'm not going to do the same mistake I did with this one, to be honest with you. But obviously keeping alert with Mr. Box Office TV anyway, because that's going to still be active still, 100%, and I'll be rattling people even more, and I don't really care. You know what I mean? Because that's how I roll. But I just, it is what it is, Nigel. You know what I mean? I've done this too long now. I've done this too many years now. Too many years, and been a Tottenham fan for a long time as well, but being on YouTube for a long time now, and I know how it rolls with Tottenham fans now. I know how they are, and to be honest with you, they should be able to celebrate a win, which I celebrated as well. You know what I mean? Because you might never see a European trophy ever, and those young people needed to have a trophy, and this is something they can banter with the Arsenal fans and stuff like that. One thing I will say, they shouldn't be talking about Sol Campbell anymore because Sol Campbell never won a European trophy, so we shouldn't be singing that song anymore. That should be done and dusted now. Let's be honest here. You know what I mean? That should be done and dusted now. We should just scrap that now. But yeah, I don't think it's going to change anything. You know what I mean? It's either you've got your argument and you debate that with the people, and that's it, really. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be straight on that same manager, because the thing is, I'm not gonna be straight supporting the manager straight away, because, like I said, no one's really there to say yes, he's the man. But what I will give a chance to is the fact, if I've got somebody that's going to coach the team, at least I've got a chance of seeing players improve and get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what I really want to see. You know what I mean? Because, like I say, after the Man United game, which was after when we played them the second time round in the Premier League, and we had that long break, and I saw the same things with Ange, even though we went through what we went through in the first part of the season. That's when I'd said, sorry, I can't spend any money on this anymore. I cannot spend any money on this. And that was after a protest, which I was proud of the fans and what they did. So that was me done. I only went back to one game because Ben Kaufman, who's a lovely guy, and I thank him for this, gave me a free ticket. That was the only reason.
Oh, that's right. You went with Ben, didn't you?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I offered him money. He said, "Mate, I don't want to take your ticket for free. I don't feel." You know what I mean? This is where the main event, Mr. Bots Office, is showing his true colours as Alex, being a nice guy. But, it's like, I didn't want to do that to Ben, but Ben was very, very nice, very, 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 very nice of him. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, but I have been back to the stadium because I went before the matches to see people, and I went to the last match before the match, and that was it. But, it just wasn't great to watch whatsoever.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. It was very, very turgid stuff.
To me, I said it earlier, like when the new manager comes in, yes, I will back him, as I did Ange when he come in. I always back every manager that comes to our football club.
Yeah.
Always. But they've got to convince me. I will back them until I see reason that I can't back them. You know what I mean? When the new manager turns up, will I be behind him and on his side? Of course. Of course I'll be on his side. Of course I will. But he's got to convince me that he is the right man for the job. If he doesn't do it, I'll be going the same way as I did with Ange. I want him gone immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Sava, how are you, sir?
Sorry,
Royalty.
mate. I fell
Royalty in
asleep.
the building.
I fell asleep on the sofa watching England. And,
What's the
sorry, I'm so sorry.
Oh god, that was a funny one. Oh,
Oh, honestly, I hay fever's kicking my ass. I feel completely out of it. But good evening to all of you wonderful-looking gentlemen. How are you?
We're all good, mate. We're
We're
good.
all good.
I believe I speak for everyone on
Yeah.
their behalf. I think we're all good. We're
could
all
have better
good.
weather though. Could have better weather.
No, it's nice here now.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's raining here now. It's
It's
raining here.
absolutely disgusting in South London. Honestly, if I see if you can see that, it actually makes it look quite nice. It's minging. It's
Yeah. Yeah. it's
Anyway.
chucking down here.
so nothing to talk about after the last 24 hours, chaps. It's been a quiet day at Spurs.
Yeah. No, it's been very quiet.
It's madness, isn't it? Sava, let me ask you quickly. I'm going to ask you.
Go on.
Obviously, Ange has gone now. You've wanted him gone for a long time. We know that. What do you want to see personally from whoever comes in? What is your biggest bugbear about what you've had to put up with Ange, apart from the turgid football? Is it just the overall thing, or is it just that he's so bad for you that anyone would do, sort of thing? I don't know.
A word I keep using: coach.
Yeah.
I want coaching. I want a coach.
I want to coach. I want to coach.
I
And
wanna coach.
I genuinely believe that a lot of our fan base don't understand how badly coached we are as a football team.
Mhm.
As I said, the trophy that everyone's just going, oh, he's the most successful manager for the last 41 years. Sure. If we're going to have easy cup runs every year like that, sure. But, you know, when we've come up against proper teams, when he's come up against proper managers in the league for 20 months, 78 points in 66 games.
Yeah.
It's absolutely disgusting. So
Awful.
I want someone to come in. I was watching Sky Sports earlier, and you know, they've interviewed a few ex-pros. Some are for, some are against the sacking, which goes to show you that not just because you're a pro, you know what you're talking about. They're all saying different things, right? But you know, Harry Redknapp said it best. Harry Redknapp turned around, didn't he, this morning on TalkSport and said, or last night, whatever it was, and said, you know, it was a certainty. He had to be sacked. Like, you can't be at Tottenham, finish 17th, lose 22 games in a season, and not be sacked. And that's the difference, keep saying, between Spurs fans and business and football people. We can sweep 22 defeats under the carpet. They were never going to sweep it under the carpet. I still can't believe, and sorry if I'm ranting already, but I'm sure it's why you want me on, right? But I can't believe that already that the meltdown from fans that just seem to not care about how shit we are on the pitch. Like, who care? And this isn't a style thing, by the way. This isn't, oh my God, we must have all out attacking football. I just don't know what style we are. Like, we can't defend. Going forward, we only seem to score one type of goal. There's no patterns of play in midfield. I want to coach. And somebody, I can't remember, one of the pros said this morning, said, if Spurs get somebody like Thomas Frank, he is tactically flexible. Yeah. He will size up the opposition, work out what their strengths are, and he will negate that, or he will attempt to negate that. And that's all I ask from a manager. And for the last 2 years, we've had a manager that's just gone, I see the problems and I refuse to do anything about them. And the only time he has done anything about them was in the last 3 rounds of the Europa, which was to try and save his job. And even then, he couldn't do anything other than put 10 men behind the ball. Like, everyone keeps going, oh, he adapted against Frankfurt and United. Did he? Or did he just stick 10 men behind the ball and we defended for our lives? So, look, sorry, long-winded way, Mark, of saying I want to coach, and I'll send it to you guys. I've seen 4 videos today of Thomas Frank on YouTube coaching masterclasses. Yeah. The way he coaches one-on-one with players. I want that. Yeah. I want to be proud. I want to go into the weekend not thinking, oh, Ipswich Town going to have 20 shots on goal against us at our own ground. Yeah. You know, I want to go in and think, are we going to make Mickey van der Ven lose his hamstrings because we keep letting people just play one ball over the top week in, week out? So, that's all I want. I want to coach. I desperately want to coach. And last thing I'll say, sorry, I've waffled a lot. I want what Newcastle have got. Yeah. I want what Eddie Howe has gone into Newcastle and done. You look at what he took over at Newcastle. Look at the way he upskilled players. Look at the way he got players like Murphy before he left, like Almiron, Langstaff, Willock,
Murphy,
Fabian Schär, Murphy. You look, Dan, but look at how he climbed the table with these poor footballers. Then started to get a little bit better caliber, the likes of Botman and tonight, but not the best, but the next level up. Yeah. Look how he negated Liverpool in that final. Look how he masterclass 2 legs over Arsenal in the semi-final. He beat Chelsea en route to that final as well. He beat Fulham, or was it Fulham or Brentford, or one of them, and Everton. I want that. I want a manager that is good with the press, doesn't lie to us. I don't want to hear on the Friday that we don't need experience. Then when we've lost on a Sunday, oh, well, we haven't got the experience. I don't want that. I just want a straight talker, a good coach. And our fan base, I'm seeing, I don't know if you've seen it. People are making accounts saying, say no to Frank out. And it's like, haven't you guys learned from Poch? Came in from a small club in Southampton. And obviously Mark, middle Mark there. Now where's, Pochettino pajamas at night because of that small coach from Southampton.
He wasn't bad, was he? He was all right.
He was a great coach. He was a brilliant coach. You look at it, Hertzler, coach. Silva, coach. Iriola, coach. Pep Guardiola is a coach. Arne Slot is a coach. We don't want that. We don't want that. We want a guy that's going to be wide open at the back, and we're going to let this trophy paper all over the cracks. So listen, for once, Daniel Levy did the right thing. And just going to finish on this. I reckon I'm going to be one thing away from being correct with my prediction. I said 2 months ago, whenever we got Vinay Venkatesham, this is why Levy didn't sack him. I said he's waiting until the summer and we're going to have a clean sweep. We're going to have a clear out. So far, Ange has gone. Munner's gone. Donna Cullen's gone. Yeah. The women's manager got sacked today. I reckon they're having and the only one that I think is going to stay is Lang. Mason's gone. He's having a clear out. I'm telling you, he's having a clear out. So hopefully I don't think
Lang's going to stay any longer when Prodigy's there. I don't think they're going to get on with each other, to be honest with you. It just doesn't.
I think he'll keep him, Alex, to do his youth stuff. I reckon they'll let Paratici take the senior signings, and I think Lang's going to stay on as, especially because Lang's got a relationship with Frank, hasn't he? So if Frank comes in, I don't know, mate. If he goes, I don't care if he goes. But anyway, that's me. That's what I think. Sorry, I've come on and dominated. So.
No, it's all right, mate.
No. Just a quick question here. You think Frank can take the best out of our players? He's a coach.
Frank, yes. Yeah, Marios, big up out there in Cyprus. Yeah, he's a coach. Look, it won't be instant. It's not going to be game one where we go, da-da.
Yeah.
But he will work with them. I looked at his team earlier, right? So this was Brentford's last game, right? This was Brentford's last game of the season. Listen to this team, right? This is the team that finished, 17, 18 points above Tottenham Hotspur, right? So their team was, hang on, where are we? Lineups. There we go, lineups. So this was Brentford's team. It was Flecken, Ayer, Collins, Pinnock, Lewis Potter, Norgard, Janelt, Stade, Damsgaard, and Buemo and Visser. If at the start of the season I'd said to any of you that would be a Spurs 11, we would have all laughed.
Yeah.
We would have all said they're shit. Look how he's coached them. Lewis Potter is a forward playing at left back.
Yeah.
Right? Visser and Buemo 2 years ago, who knew Visser and Buemo?
No one.
They got 40 Premier League goals between them this season.
It was all about Ivan Toney, wasn't it, before then?
Yeah.
And then Ivan Toney, and then before then it was Wilkins.
Yeah.
And Flecken is the goalkeeper that they bought in for Rea, and now he's gone off somewhere else now, hasn't he? Because he's done really well at Brentford, doesn't he, Flecken?
But do you know what? Just to quickly say, guys, all the people that are knocking Thomas Frank, I don't think they know why they're knocking him. Other than the fact that he's not
fashionable.
Yes. Other than the fact that he's not a big, sexy name and that he's at Brentford, I don't think people know why they're knocking him. If anyone watches these videos on him, sod it. Look at this man has brought Brentford into the Premier League when they were favourites to get relegated. He took over, sorted them out, nearly got them up, then did get them up, has kept them up for 4 seasons. And in the 7 years he's been at Brentford, he spent £260 million in 7 years, right? That works out to £35 million a season, right? And he spends net £10 million a year.
Wow.
and he's got that team 2 top 10 finishes in 4 seasons. And everyone's going, ain't good enough for Spurs. Sorry, we're 17th in the league. We should be biting their hand off for a coach like that. Someone to come in and coach us. I'm baffled as to this fan base, and Ange has brainwashed half the fan base into thinking that tactics don't matter, that coaching doesn't matter. It's all that matters. It's all that matters.
Didn't Brentford finish 18 points ahead of us last season? 18 points ahead. I think
Brentford
it's 18.
had 56. We had 38. Yeah.
Yeah, 6 wins.
18 points ahead.
Yeah. And they got 66 goals.
5th highest scores in the Premier League.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
If nobody wants Frank.
But we're not happy with that. Everyone's not learned. They keep going on. We need a Jose or a Conte type. Why? Those guys don't want to coach. Those guys don't want to go in and build. Those guys go, give me the best players around now and I will win. So I'm a bit confused. I'm a bit confused as to why we don't want to coach. But
me too.
I don't get it.
Me too.
Yeah.
We've definitely been lacking in that department. And again, Savra, I'll say it again. If it be Thomas Frank, whoever it might be, they have to bring their coaches with them. For me.
Oh, and they will. They will. But we've just sacked all of ours today.
Yeah.
We just sacked all of ours. So whoever comes in is going to bring their coaching staff. And listen, honestly, I can't begin to tell you, right? I was speaking to my mate the other day. So my mate works at Chelsea as a coach, very high up in the ranks. I said to him, what do you think of Frank? And he said he's talked about in such glowing terms in the coaching world. Said he's absolutely adored. Many clubs have tried to get him and he said no. And we're sitting here as Spurs fans in 17th going, we don't want Thomas Frank. I don't know what we want. I don't know what we want. Do we want wide open gung ho football? I'm not sure.
Not on what we've seen for the last 2 years, mate. No, because all you hear from everyone is, and we know many people that go every week, Alex, Stell, whoever, and they'll all tell you for 2 years apart from 10 games at the beginning of the season before last, it's just been turgid shit. The same stuff over and over again.
Mark, the problem for me is this. When you see there is an issue and you are paid £5 million a year, your job is to address the issue.
Yeah.
Right? He had them for a whole year last year with no Europe on the training ground. Right? And he didn't address the issues at all. The inverting fullbacks, lack of a defensive midfielder, the high line, no midfield. We didn't have any coaching. And then everyone said to me, Sava, you watch what Ange does. He'll change that. He'll adapt. We start this season, 5 defeats in 12, high line, everyone beating us. He hasn't adapted. And then people go, yeah, but he can. Look at the Man City game. All right. Why has he not done that then? If he knew that was the way to win games, why do we just keep going back to gung-ho? It's clown football. It's like watching, I'm sure, like any of you that have got kids or nephews or nieces or whatever, and you've gone and watch like an under-10s game, right? And they're all running around the ball. There's no shape, there's no pattern because they're kids, right? Because they're tiny little kids. And they all get drawn to the ball. It's like watching Tottenham. Like there's no shape. There is no shape in any way, shape or form. You've got no one's been upskilled. Adogi and Porro, for me, still can't defend. If they're going to be a fullback, I expect the coach to be working with them defensively for 2 years. Right? Van der Ven still can't head a ball for a guy who's about 9 foot tall. Why is he not working on that? Right? Yeah. You look at Vicario. Vicario still flaps at everything. Why is that not being worked on? Still not good with his feet. Why is that not being worked on? Papasar, completely regressed. Yeah? Sorry, I'm so... I know why I'm called negative, guys, because what I say are probably negative facts. I get that, right? I understand that. But if we remove the emotion and we remove that he did that, this manager Daniel Levy's done the right thing. Love him, hate him, whatever. This time he has done the right thing. He's done the right thing. He's removed a guy that can't coach. Sorry, I'm so passionate.
No,
about
no,
Spurs.
no,
I'm
no.
so passionate. I want to look forward to the games, guys. Do you know what?
Yeah.
When I do the Spurs reviews, people like Alex are jumping on. I want to be able to turn around and say, God, did you see what he did, Alex? We were losing 2-1 at half time, switched to a back three. We've gone and won the game 3. I want to be talking like that rather than, shit, Alex, did you see how wide open we were? And the other team had 25 shots on our goal.
While you were asleep on the sofa, Sava, I said that right at the beginning. I want to fall in love with my team again.
Yeah.
And want to watch the games.
Yeah.
You know, I've never felt that distant from my football club with this rubbish that we've had to watch for the last 2 years. All right, we won a cup. Yes, brilliant. Thank you. Thank you. It's got the monkey off our back. You know, the Spursy tag will stop now for a little bit. You know, we've won something. Thank you for that. But you still cannot forget we finished 17th. And as I said at the beginning of the show, are we the 17th worst squad in the Premier League? No, we're bloody not. Nowhere near it. We should be like
do, Mark.
5th, 6th, 7th in that general area.
Yeah, what we got to do, if it is Frank that comes in, we cannot get on his back straight away if we lose.
I'll be fully behind
whatever club Frank's been at, he's always started slowly. So
Yeah.
we cannot be getting on his back. We've got to give him time.
I think Nige is just going to have to deal with it, mate, because that's what it's going to be like.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the thing what he needs to do is just focus on what he's doing and make sure he gets, you know, he keeps to his task, and that's it really.
All I can say is I'm fully behind any manager that comes in at Tottenham. I was fully behind Ange until he pissed me off that much I couldn't be anymore.
Agreed.
It's
Mark.
the same as you. It's the same as you, Sava. You probably were as well.
I've got a video, right? I've got a video
The league after 10 games. We all loved him.
Before that, I had a video where I said, I feel like this appointment is a breath of fresh air about
Exactly.
Ange, right? It was the Chelsea game that spun me. It wasn't the fact that we lost. It was the fact that he decided with 9 men, he's going to put all 9 of them on the halfway line. And it was like, nah, mate, you're and the fans lapped it up. Oh, he's brave. That's not brave. Brave is running into a burning building to save somebody, not putting 8 men on the halfway line against Chelsea. They had, if I'm not wrong, Chelsea in that game had
Jackson, wasn't it?
Jackson.
Yeah.
They're 2 or 3 really quick players.
Yeah.
So what we decided to do was put 8 men on the halfway line and just say, go on, keep playing balls over the top.
Yeah.
And in the end, they scored 4. So you're right. I want whoever the next manager is, I will get behind. And a lot of people keep saying things, and I'm sure they will to you lot, is, I bet you'll be Frank out or Iriola out in 18 months. What if they do a bad job? Yeah.
Yeah.
Me saying I want a manager isn't unconditional for 5 years. You don't get a new girlfriend and then it's not working and you go, oh, I really don't like this person, but you know what? I'm going to give it another 6 months because, you know, why not? If it's not working, you change it. And our fans have got too sentimental.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, who was it who said earlier, last Premier League United, wasn't it? Southampton.
Yeah.
Southampton game, the day of the protest. Mate, honestly, it's madness. Absolutely mad.
That was like March or whenever it was.
Yeah, back in March sometime, you know. And it's just the times come, you know, it's happened now. The times come for change. Yeah. And all we can do is sort of, I don't know, because we don't know who's coming in, it's difficult. We're chatting about, you know, who we'd like to come in and what type of football we'd like to be played. And, you know, like Sava said, the main thing is I think we can all agree on that a coach is more important, you know, than anything, because these youngsters, we've got a lot of youngsters at our club as well. And there are youngsters there that you can see they have got talent. It's just got to be coached the right way for them. You know, it's to go on like we did, winning the trophy, fantastic. We've got the trophy, you know, first one for 17 years, it's done. But the barometer, again, I will say, is the league form. For me, the league form is the barometer of the manager, you know, and finishing 17th is just not, it's not acceptable. For me, as a fan, it's not acceptable.
No.
But Mark, they told us. Right? Loads of these fans told us. Don't worry about that. That's not important. And many of us said, of course it's important. Well, you think Daniel Levy's going to let this guy lose 22 Premier League games and keep him? These people go, yeah, but the trophy's more important. Right. Let's get this right. Right. There are moments in life, and you have to savor those moments.
Yeah.
Then there's the thing called the bigger picture. Right. Now, I always give this little analogy. When I was managing teams I've worked for 20 years in talent acquisition, recruitment, right? And I've managed big teams, like up to 30 people, whatever. There's been consultants who have worked for me that haven't hit target, right? When they don't hit target, they go on a review and you give them all the tools they need to try and coach them and get them better. And hey, you've got 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, I need to see you hitting these targets.
Yeah.
Or they're released. I've had occasions where I've had consultants that haven't done anything in terms of making any money. Then they get one massive deal in. People go, oh, you got to keep them now. No, that's not how it works. You've got to be performing consistently. And that's the same with football. Can't just say one magnificent moment takes away from the fact that we're not coached, not well drilled, that the manager's cupping his ears to our fans, fighting with our fans, telling us 1 minute that we finishing 10th and winning a trophy isn't good enough. The next minute telling us he's thrown the league to win that trophy. What part of these people did they think Daniel Levy was going to allow that? What part of these people thought that Daniel Levy was going to go, oh, go on, mate. Yeah. 22 defeats, go on. Listen, Daniel Levy does a lot wrong, but he is not dumb. Do you know what I mean? I believe, in my mind, this decision was made ages ago.
Yeah. Yeah. So
and I reckon, had we have lost the final, it would have been the very next day. And I think what's happened is someone's turned around and said to him, you can't sack him yet. Can't sack him yet. And now he's won it. You need to let the fans have the parade, you know, all of that. And then he's come back from holiday. See you later. Listen,
I think even Ange knew himself, because if you notice when he was being interviewed, he there was subtle hints in there, weren't there, in his interviews, like what happens after, you know, he was sort of saying what happens when I'm not here and all that sort of, you know what I mean? There was various things that he said in all of his interviews. I think he knew before the final. Look, if you win it, you're gone. If you lose it, you're definitely gone. You know, I think he knew it.
What he said about season 2, 3 being better than season 2, I think that was just a parting gift, just to say,
yeah.
Just, you know what he's good at, just, you know, spinning things, isn't he? Really, you know what I mean? But
I think that's a good chance a lot of the players knew as well.
You
he's
know,
a salesman. He's a brilliant salesman.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I find hilarious is everything that I've said, Ange told us.
Yeah.
But because I said it, it's wrong. So when I'm saying 17th and a trophy is absolutely atrocious, Ange is the one that told us last year, finishing 10th and winning a trophy doesn't mean anything. Right? When Ange says it, oh, my manager. Sava says it, toxic, negative, go support Chelsea. You're like, hey, hang on. He said 10th. I'm saying 17th. Right? You think what else this man has said? This man, in that statement that someone put up the other day, he said, we never move away from our beliefs in the way we want to play. We stick with our convictions. How did he win this trophy?
He didn't win it by his convictions. No, he didn't.
He didn't win it by his convictions, did he? He won it by going, oh, shit, we need 10 men behind the ball. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it's the salesy waffle that we get before and after games.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't make any substitutions against Brighton today, even though they were battering us because I didn't think we deserved a point. Sorry, it's your job.
Mm.
Like a
Yeah.
fireman going, oh, I didn't turn the hose on because I thought the fire was just a bit too big, so I didn't. Not worth it.
Couldn't be bothered.
Couldn't
Yeah.
be bothered.
Yeah.
I just don't. I don't understand how anyone is enjoying what they're seeing. I don't. So I'm so happy he's gone. Good luck to him.
Yeah.
Good luck to him. He'll get a job. He's a European champion. He'll get a job, just not with us. And you watch. When he goes to his next team, and his next team is wide open, playing gung-ho football, watch our fans watch that team and go, they're rubbish. Watch.
Problem is, though, Sav, they'd probably go to a league that's not very good. Like, I don't know, someone in Greece. They'd probably go to one of the top teams in Greece, manage them, win the league easy, and the fans would be like, see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll ask this. If Ange took the Arsenal job, right, let's say we woke up tomorrow, Arteta's been sacked, he takes over at Arsenal, and he's playing this football. Arsenal are conceding that many goals, getting battered every week, and in the bottom half of the table.
I'd love
I
it.
wonder what we would say then, whether or not Ange ball was really good and we really enjoy it,
Yeah.
or whether we're saying, look how bad them lot down the road are. So it's amazing. The eyes see what they want, isn't it? The eyes see what they want, not what is actually happening.
I love it.
Mum's
love it.
dad.
I love him.
I got someone I call loosely a mate because he supports Arsenal. He's more of an associate, but he is a mate, right? And the amount of things I got tagged in this seat. If Ange went to Arsenal, I'd love it. I'd be constantly tagging him in stuff when they were like getting ripped open, wide apart, losing. It'd be lovely. It would be absolutely marvelous. I'd absolutely love it if he went there.
I would love him to take over at Nottingham Forest. I know why. You know why I would say that? Because I know somebody said about to you, Sava, about winning the cup. You should be happy, and I'd love him to have Ange Postecoglou as his manager and see what he feels like. You know what I mean? With the wide open football, rather than Nuno's football. You know what I mean?
Alex, let me ask you a question. Right? Let's swap Frank and Ange. If Ange Postecoglou is on that much of a shoestring budget at Brentford, with a team that are fancied to be in the bottom half every year, would he have taken them down?
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
You couldn't handle 2 games a week.
Mate, imagine being in a relegation scrap with Ange's football, like a proper relegation scrap. Imagine he was at Wolves when Vitor Pereira took them over and did a brilliant job guiding them clear of. Like, you think we were well clear of Everton, Palace, Man U, West Ham, and Wolves. All 5 finished above us.
And they changed their managers as well, I think. But
Man U did, Everton did, Wolves did, United did, West Ham did. West Ham.
Yeah.
He would take them down.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Can I just say to Edward Wyvos in your chat, dude, listen, come on. It's a little bit childish, isn't it? Saying Arsenal would win a trophy and Sava will be celebrating. What does that even mean?
Oh no.
What does that where, like, can I ask, you know, when you thought to yourself that these were going to type on the keyboard, at what part did you think, let me engage this first? Like, it's surely you realize how dumb this comment is.
It is a Saturday night. You need to laugh, don't you? You need to laugh, don't you?
Happy days.
The other thing is, guys, I keep hearing this. Oh, we don't want Frank. Never been in Europe. Never played European football. Anyone seen Ange's record in the Champions League?
Yeah, shocking.
Terrible.
Never won a game.
Yeah.
Never won a game.
But they're going to give him a few months.
Like when people say, yeah, but Frank only had 1 game a week. Yeah. So did Eddie Howe when he was at Bournemouth. Now look what he's doing at Newcastle. He's done all right, isn't he? Playing in multiple competitions. Like this, all of these managers were somewhere once. I don't know. I don't know.
Like I said earlier, Sava, managers have, some managers grow, don't they? They don't just come into being, like we said about Poch earlier on, came from Southampton. I don't think anyone had massive expectations.
He was second or third choice, by the way, as
That's
well.
what I mean. Just to get us solid again, and he did what he did. So, I'm not saying Thomas Frank's going to do exactly that again, but at least get us stable. I don't think anyone expects us to go bang, top 4, get us stable, give us a structure, give us some tactics, give us some adaptability, all those things. And I think you'll see a lot better from the players that we've already got.
Mark, he doesn't have to be the guy forever. I feel like, big up to Manage Beats. He speaks sense, this lad. Do you know what, right? It doesn't have to be that the manager you bring in now, you keep for 5-10 years. It might be that, by the way, the only reason I'm talking about Frank, I've Alex, you've heard me say this, guys. You've all heard me say this. My first 2 choices would be Xavi or Glasner.
Yeah.
Right? But it looks like it's Frank, which I can get on board with. Doesn't mean he's my favourite. But there's nothing wrong. Maybe this guy comes in, implements some tactics, has us steadily going up the table over the next 2 years. And then maybe you go, okay, right, we're getting better now. And maybe a new manager comes in with a bit more about them. Maybe. But what we do, and close your ears, Sheriff, you're not going to want to hear this. You're not going to want to hear this, mate. No. What we should have done, when we're bringing in Contes and Jose's are who you bring in when Poch couldn't get over the line. When Poch was finishing second and third, and we had that team that was in its peak, all of them, a big club goes, right, you've taken us as far as you can. Jose, come in and win with this lot. But what we do it at the wrong time. We bring these top managers in when we're at a low ebb. We bring them in where all of those players are getting to the, Alderweireld and Vertonghen, their legs had gone. Dembele had left. Walker had left. Right? Ericsson was leaving. And then, Danny Rose was getting work. And then all of a sudden, Jose come in, work miracles. You're like, nah, you got to, so it doesn't have to be that he's here forever, but we need a safe pair of hands, don't we? But don't we need to be out of the media for once? Like every week with Ange, I felt like he was just embarrassing. Everything he said was embarrassing. Arguing with reporters, arguing with the fan base.
We need someone, at least for this season, until Poch comes back next summer after the World Cup.
I don't know if...
That's my opinion.
My focus is just on just us, because I don't think it really matters who's the coach at the moment. I just think we need a coach at the moment, and then whoever's the director of football needs to be the consistent person for my eyes anyway. What we do afterwards, if Frank doesn't work, I prefer not to just go back to Poch. I think we're going to have to think of something else for me, because there are other coaches like Poch. There are other coaches like Poch. You know what I mean? So that are not known. You know what I mean? They are out there, so that can get the best out of this team. That could be a benefit to Tottenham.
Yeah,
Alex, if you offered Thomas Frank this group of players compared to what he's got at Brentford, he's going to bite your hand off.
Yeah, he would.
Right? Look at that back 4 I just read out. Keane, Lewis Potter, Pinnock, who was the other one? Vandenberg, and who was the other one? I can't even see. This is and Ayer, right? Yeah. And if I turn around to him and went, right, Thomas Frank, you've now got a Dogie, Van de Ven, Romero, and Porro. He'll go, I can work with that. You got Bentancur and Basuma in midfield. Yeah, I can work with that. You know what I mean? You've got James Maddison as the playmaker. By the way, look what a job he's done at getting the best out of Damsgaard this season.
Yeah. That's struggled at the beginning.
It's a coach.
I can't wait to see James Maddison under a new manager. I think we're going to see a totally different player.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're probably going to see 11 different players, Nige, to be honest with you, because hopefully whoever comes in will bring the best out of what we've got. And for me now as well, where I don't know what you guys think. Ange has had 400 million quid, and it's been all right. They've won the Europa, but the league form has been shocking. Let's hope that the next manager that comes in gets a little bit of that backing as well. You know, because you know it's undeniable we need some experience in our team.
Yeah,
we've just
Definitely
got to
won't say
improve.
no to. You won't say no to people like Eze, like Ange did. I don't think he would say no to Eze.
No. I think you're right, chaps. Has anyone got anything else to say on anything? Because the only reason I'm saying is Nigel's got a show at 9:15. It's getting on for 9, and I'd imagine anyone would want a wee break before he starts again. Because I know we're.
I've just been.
Happy days.
And I was sat here. That's what you get with age, mate.
Happy days. Sorry, you've only managed to get on for 20 minutes, Sava, because it's been very interesting.
Can I answer this message?
Yeah, of course you can.
Ed, I love you, dude, but look at the difference between what Ange Postecoglou's got to play with, money-wise, player personnel-wise, and look at the difference than what Thomas Frank has had to play with. When we're saying he let in that many goals, Brentford every year are fancied to be bottom half. I would expect teams that are fancied to be bottom half to be letting in a lot of goals. I don't expect Tottenham Hotspur to be letting in 65 goals in the season, Ed. Everyone keeps doing this comparison. The guy has spent 35 million on average for 7 years. 35 million. Ange Postecoglou spent that on Archie Gray alone. Right? Ange Postecoglou has had 17 new players. 400 million pounds. He had a whole year of not being in Europe to train, to get them on the training ground and make them a solid unit. Big up, Ed. I love you. Yeah, I do. But, you know, I feel like we've got to, if we're going to judge these people, can we at least judge them fairly? Like somebody earlier said to me, oh, well, Palace finished bottom half. Why haven't they set their manager? They won a trophy. Oh, why are you comparing Tottenham and Palace? Look at the size of the club. Crystal Palace lose their best players every summer. This year, they're going to lose Gueye, probably Eze. Last year, they lost Anderson, Elise. Right? This is what happened. These clubs lose players every year. These coaches work miraculously with the squads they've got and then get belittled. And I genuinely don't understand why. None of you at the beginning of the season, no one in your chat sits there and goes, do you know who's my favourite to win the FA Cup or League Cup this year? Brentford. No one.
No.
But he hasn't won anything. But of course, he's been at Brentford. It's not like he's been at Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool and not won anything. He's been at Brentford.
Yeah.
When we were in the Champions League final, Brentford were finishing 11th or something in the Championship.
No.
Just to give you an idea of what that man has done as their manager and their coach, he's taken them from there to top half Premier League football team. And people are going, mid-table Frank. What do you mean? We're 17th. Can't go any lower without getting relegated. Just mad. It's absolutely mad.
I think most of them, if we do well in the first 3 games or 4 games, most of them will be on board anyway, knowing what the fan base is.
Put it this way, I said earlier, whoever it is comes in, I will be behind them until they give me reason not to be. You've got to be. Spurs is the team we all support. All of us. I take it all of the chat as well. 107 in here, by the way. I've never seen such numbers. 3 figures on the watch thing, mate.
Nice.
And thank you to everybody. Can I just say, we passed 400 subs today, so thank you to everybody.
Yeah,
thank you to everybody. The road to 500 is well and truly on.
It certainly is.
It certainly is. just a reminder as well, we're still releasing the Lifetime 11s. They will be back at 5 o'clock. Premiered 5 o'clock. Savas was first, if you want to go and have a look on that.
Great team.
Yeah.
There was plenty of discussion in the WhatsApp groups about his picks. And then, unfortunately, Mr. Lubos was released at 5 o'clock last night, just after the news about Ange. I feel sorry for him, really. In fact, I've sent a disparaging email to Tottenham Hotspur about ruining our Premier.
Just re-release it. Just re-release it.
Yeah.
Oh, can you do that?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We'll have a look at it. Look,
Yeah.
it's Lifetimes are still going on. Like I said earlier, still recording Monday to Friday, 5 o'clock. Please, everyone, get over and watch them because it's very interesting watch. I'd just like to say we're gonna leave it here now because, like I say, Nige has got a show at 9:15. Thanks to Nige. Please get over there and subscribe to him at Pure Coys. Alex, Box Office, get over to him and subscribe, please. And you're probably already all subscribed to Sava, but if you're not,
that's why we got 100 in here, mate. That's why we got 100 watching.
And on top of that, Sava's got a second channel, FHTV Plus.
Don't worry about that one. No, it's there. It's just I'm using it as a clips channel. Just I've put everything, all my content now is just on one main channel.
Okay, mate. Sorry, didn't realise.
No,
sorry.
right.
So get over to Sava at Football Heritage. Get over there, subscribe to him. That's it, people. Thank you ever so much for being in the chat, for being here tonight. Thanks to all the guests for coming on. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
No, come on, mate. We can't end it yet. You got. Come on.
I know. I was testing you.
You know the rules.
By the way, everyone, I'll do it now. It's a good night from me.
And it's a good night from him.
Cheers, everyone. Thank you. Good night.
The 2 Mark Show. Don't need a dressing.